All right, welcome back, everyone. I think I've managed to do it without accidentally muting myself again. Is that? I'm still a little embarrassed about the fact that I did that during the draft last time.
5 seconds.
Yeah, obviously I was AFK for a while there. Let you guys watch the draft while I was grabbing a drink. Like I said earlier, it's going to be very casual, very different than how I normally cast, or I guess not too different, but a lot more laid back. We're just going to play it by ear and cast whatever the heck we can find. So we switch games. We're not casting Evil Empire anymore because I believe they're going to be waiting for their next match. So we switch to Team YP. As they're going to be going up against S-Class.
Radiant team pick.
Obviously, Team YP, one of the favorites to go pretty deep in into these qualifiers. As I've got... well, we've casted these guys on Team YP quite a bit. And unfortunately, it looks like one of my friends and old teammates, 11, he's unfortunately not playing for them right now, as he's the missing player on Team YP, so they've got to stand in. But looks like we're going to see Doom again. We're going to see Oracle. That should be exciting. So what do we got here? We've got Shadow Fiend mid, Doom off lane, Phantom Lancer safe lane, with Night Stalker and Oracle support duo. Night Stalker 4, Oracle 5. As for our dire side, we got TA mid,
reserve time,
Undying Tusk duo off lane, maybe Tusk roaming around, and then Shadow Shaman Sven safe lane. It looks like what it's going to be. So we've got a pretty early game oriented team on our dire side. As for our Radiant side, they just pretty much have to ride it out and go a little bit later on into the game and just not throw too bad. As this is typically when you know or assume that you're a much higher skilled team. There's no point going for any kind of, not gimmicky, but kind of time-based strategy where you have to try and get something accomplished early on. You can just ride it out and just put the onus on your opponents to try and outplay you and get those slight advantages and just kind of snowball off of that. So as the higher skilled team, you're fine with just going a little bit later into the game and not really put any kind of time constraint on. As Baidu King's going to be in a little bit of trouble here, as there's been a 5-man smoke from S-Class, and looks like they will catch the Phantom Lancers. He's already doppelganged, and he's been stunned up. Now he's going to get shackled. We're going to see our first blood
30 seconds.
go into the underdogs as S-Class and Templar Assassin get first blood there. His career running all the way down here, wants to desperately deliver these tangos. But where is he going? Courier wanted some part in the first blood action. But let's introduce our teams and our players first, because we didn't really skip over that. But, oh, nope, now we're not going to be able to. Is Rasta? Nope. Okay, he's not going to commit to the top rune. Thought he was going to commit in with the Sven, but the monster was going to wrap in behind, but not the case. But yeah, let's introduce our teams and our players. So on the Radiant side, we're going to have Team YP, or Uporn. And we've got XK is going to be playing their Night Stalker. Baidu King, which already's died in this game. He's going to be playing the Phantom Lancer. We've got Monster on that big bad Doom. We've got Ahon Ram playing the Oracle, but he's going to be the stand-in for Team YP, standing in for 11. As I mentioned, a friend of mine and old teammates, as we used to co-captain a team together. That was a lot of fun. We've got Confessor is going to be playing the Shadow Fiend for them. And then we move on to our dire side, which is Team S-Class. And we've got Mbat playing the Undying. It's just having a little bit of a man fight here with the Phantom Lancer. But here comes the Night Stalker in from the side. Snowball comes forward from the Tusk, but well-timed doppelgang from the Phantom Lancer. Just kind of jumps around, or jumps away. So we've got a bunch of up arrows or carrots for the Tusk. That's, I guess, maybe we'll call him Carrot or just Tusk. I don't know. We'll figure it out as we go along. As we've got Guru, I think. He's going to be playing the Templar Assassin. Then we've got Jang Hyun Seung going to be playing the Shadow Shaman, and Rika Hart is going to be playing the Sven. But so, Career's going to come in, deliver some items here to the Templar Assassin, who's in a man fight with the Shadow Fiend. His Confessor is now on the run. Is one more attack coming up from the TA will be enough, as Confessor is going to go down in an early 2-kill lead. As Confessor spamming the pings onto the TA. There's got action in the bottom lane as there's more action going on as the Undying is going to go down. Apparently no tombstone's been dropped. He hasn't even skilled it. So we're seeing a lot of action despite the fact that we don't have a tombstone skilled by Undying. As the Night Stalker and Undying both go down in that bottom lane. As Team YP get their first kill on the board, but it's not done. Tusk is going to start snowballing forward. They're going after the Oracle as Ahan Ram's going to try to run, but he's not going to be able to do so. But here comes XK. He's respawned. He's TP'd down. They're going to try to get a revenge kill here, but the Tusk is going to be able to get into those trees, get a healing salve up, and even a Tango to heal himself back up to full. As Team YP continue to be on the back foot here, now they're going to lose another in the top lane as Monster gets caught out. The double stun come out from the two little Doom Shards. Almost finish off the Sven. But no, Rika survives. 5-1 now. I do want to kind of underline it. They're the underdogs here. This should be a pretty one-sided game in favor of Team YP, and this is what's great about the open qualifiers, and maybe not so great about the fact that they're best of ones, but we can sometimes see upsets like this. And Team YP, they're really going to have to show that they're of the caliber to get much deeper into this qualifier, because right now it's just not working out for them. But with that said, we're still only 3.5 minutes into the game. It is very, very early. But they're losing heroes. Look at the farm. They're not leading in terms of CS. Tombstone's going to get dropped down a little bit. I'm not too sure about the positioning of that Tombstone. This is going to end up to be free gold for Team YP. And I believe it was the Phantom Lancer that got the last hit there. So 125 gold to him. It's just rank 1 Tombstone. Yeah, despite the fact that Confessor died in the mid lane, I actually think he's doing quite well. He's at 16-10 right now, actually out CSing the TA. Which TA, one of the strong counters to SF. And Monster's starting to bully in the top lane. So even though the lanes haven't really been going how they expected, they're still not just kind of sitting back and cowering. They're ready to fight, and they're going to constantly keep fighting because they know that they can win. They can take these fights. His M-Back gets low, and now Ahan ran. He's going to have to juke into the trees. They're going to try to re-engage here and go on the Undying. Undying does have an Arcane Rune. As we miss a kill in the mid lane as the TA once again finds another kill on the Shadow Fiend. Ahan ran turns around, gets a kill on the Tusk, but he does go down, and now we've got the Night Stalker and the PL trying to go on the Undying. Undying heals himself up with the Soul Rip. I don't know if it's going to be enough. He's so close to his tier 1 tower, but they might choose to dive. No, they're not. As the Undying looked quite low, but you take a look at his actual health pool, and he's up around 240. As we miss a kill on the top lane, his Monster got a kill back up here on the Shadow Shaman as Rika was just farming in the lane. So Monster catching out that SS. I'm just going to keep going forward. Using that new skill, the Infernal Blade. Jang Hyun has TP'd back up here. They're going to lead with the Sven stun. Then they've got the Shackles. The Monster getting kind of low. He's gonna realize that he's probably going to go down here. There's no way he's going to get out alive. And he will get the return kill on the Sven. His little Doom Shards get the job done. So he does trade successfully. Now 6-minute runes are going to spawn. Night Stalker's going to get an illusion rune. Not the best rune to help him gank, but he will have to rotate towards the mid. His Confessor is going to go down again as this TA is starting to snowball out of control. Team YP. You got to do something to turn this around. When things are going well for you, it's because you're trading 1 for 1. This is not how they want this game to be going. As Monster Going to dive past Rika, going after Jang Hyung. He is going to get the kill there. Will he be able to get back to the safety of the tower? Because, I don't know, because here comes the TA. He's going to slow him down with the trap. He's going to stand in front of him as Monster getting body blocked as he'll go down. Once again, we get these little Doom shards popping out.
Dire's middle tower is under
10
attack.
kills in 6.5, almost 7 minutes. For S-Class. Maybe they are S-Class. They're definitely delivering a little bit of a beating here to Team YP. Baidu King. We'll get hit with the ice shards there, but they're not going to dive past the tier 1 tower just yet. It is just the PL down here. They could. They can place a tombstone probably down around here, break the trees, give them access to that PL, but once you do that, you're pretty committed to dive past the tower. And we do have a TP up on the Oracle. They probably know that. They have seen the Oracle up here. So they should know that
Radiant's middle tower
Oracle has a
attack.
TP, and now we're going to have a dive past the tier 1 tower in the mid lane from the TA, but now he's getting caught out because Doom's here, the SF was here, which I imagine was why he was diving past the tower. And the PL and the TA will go down, but the PL goes down at the same time in the bottom lane. So again, we see a moment where something starts going the way of Team YP, and then immediately it turns into a trade. It is typically beneficial to trade
Radiant's top tower is under
when you
attack.
are behind. If you get 1-for-1 trades, that is typically beneficial. I'm not too sure if Team YP should really needs to be trading right now. They're losing their laning phase,
is under attack.
despite the fact that they're, I'd say, favored. I don't know if maybe they're the better players is the right call anymore, because S-Class have been playing a hell of a good game.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
We're going to have TA purchasing a Desolator recipe. She will pick that up, just minimizing the amount of gold that she lost when she died here diving past the tower. Tusk is smoked up, going to be coming in behind them in the mid lane. Undying has respawned, and he's TP'd on in. As they're going to drop the tombstone, they're going to choose to go after the Doom. But this is a tanky Doom. But he will still go down. Shadow Shaman going to finish him off with the Ether Shock. Tusk is going to get stunned up there just briefly by the Doom Shard. He will go down to the Oracle. So again, another 1-for-1.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
This time it's a little bit more even. It's both position 3s. This has created a little bit of space for the PL to farm in the bottom lane. Of course, the Sven free farming in the top. He'll even get a free tier 1 tower.
Has fallen. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
This Baidu King's, well, he's not going to do that much damage to the tower to get into killer deny range. But he did bring it down to about half HP. There's some of that efficiency. Doing a little bit of stacking. Confessor going to get that bottom rune. It's going to be a bounty, but then he gets caught in the wards by the Shadow Shaman as the SF goes down once again. Jang Hyung is going to go down. No, he's not. He jukes around the one little tree, and XK is instead the one who goes down. In the mid lane, though, Monster and Ahan Ram did find a kill on that Templar Assassin. So, again, just kind of chipping off little bits of that snowball, making it melt, making it a little bit smaller. As the TA was off to a fantastic start, has kind of slid down the ladder a little bit. Take a look at the last hits. She's down in 4th now.
Not for the living.
Still behind the SF. Even, but we'll take a quick look at her net worth and see where they stand now. And she's up in 2nd, but she should probably be a little bit more ahead than what she is now. She's had a very dominant laning phase, and we've seen much larger leads in our earlier games today in lanes that really weren't as dominant as the TA has. This is certainly going to help her. This is going to be a lot of gold when she clears the stack. It's going to put her very close to finishing her Desolator. It is, however, going to take her a little bit of time to go through it. Yeah, she's going to be up around 1,100 gold maybe? No, just, yeah, probably around 1,100 gold. 1,200 gold, a little bit off. Okay, then they're going to smoke on the back of it. If they get a pick off here, then she'll be very close. Needs another 400 to complete it. Remember, she purchased the 300 gold recipe, so she just needs a second mithril hammer. So that's 1,600 gold, and that's going to be a pretty good timing. 12 minutes. And it certainly could have been better. We saw her die a few times, and oh, nice wraparound here. Confessor in trouble once again. We'll pop the Shadow Amulet. There is a Sentry Ward down here. It is Radiant side Sentry Ward, I believe. As the Rec Room will fly. As they got 2 kills there. The Undying goes down and the Templar Assassin. But still, Sven just kind of farming in the top lane, not choosing to join any of these fights. He's going for a BKB as his next item. Maybe that's the item he's looking for before he chooses to fight. Is Oracle going to TP on in? Sven going to try to run away. And he will be able to do so. That increased movement speed from the Warcry is huge. But Night Stalker, it's nighttime. He's got move speed of his own. As he's going to try and find Rika, who's juking through the trees, using that Quelling Blade. As the Doom Shard will fly through, stun him up. And he'll force out some TPs. As Sven turns around, get a stun off onto Monster. As XK has rotated quite a bit away from Monster. And Monster's going to go down. Obviously some miscoordination there. Night Stalker definitely should have been there to interrupt. As now Ahon Ram's in trouble. He's going to try to run. He will use his ultimate to keep him alive for quite some time. But he will tick out here in just a second, I imagine. We are going to lose Night Stalker. But no, Ahon Ram is going to actually heal himself up. But Tusk will now trap him with the Ice Shards. Snowball, right click, last right click will come out. As they lose the Oracle. And they were chasing there, and then Monster chased right here. Sven turned around, threw out the stun, and then XK just kind of kept rotating down and around. Instead of coming back after the TP came in, the Shackles was just holding the Doom in place. Maybe a little bit of tilt from Team YP is... My goodness. Let's take a quick look at some of the items, see what's coming out for Team YP. We've got Boots of Travel for Phantom Lancer. That's just really going to help him kind of be all over the map and find the farm. So it's going to help accelerate his farm, but it's not going to do much for helping them fight now. The Oracles, got the Arcanes, got a good base of items. We got the Shadow Blade completed by Confessor. We saw him messing around with the Shadow Amulet in the mid lane. We've got that going for him. We got the Phase and the Drums for the Doom. Still, once again, another strong base, but not really a lot that's going to help you do a ton early on in terms of fighting. He has actually eaten a small creep, so they got the Cloak Aura, which is... I mean, yeah, it gives your heroes the aura, but it's actually more beneficial, I think, for the creeps when you're trying to push. It really makes the counter push not as effective. Doom's going to come out onto the TA. Confessor going to get punched up in the air by the TA. Requiem's going to fly. We've got 2 pretty separated fights here. And Shadow Fiend will go down as finally the Sven has come in to fight. And he will try and do everything he can to help his team. He's going to mow down a Night Stalker and an Oracle, as he's actually found, it only credits him with the double kill, but I believe he was a part of 3 there, as he was certainly part of the reason why Confessor went down. And now he's going to get a stun up onto Monster. He won't get credit for that one either, as the zombies from the Tombstone will get it. But Sven, effectively getting an ultra kill there, as we see a 4 for 4. The only heroes alive are the 2 safe lane farmers. It ends up being about 600, almost 700 gold going the way of Team YP. So that's what I was talking about. When you're behind, it's not the worst thing in the world to trade 1 for 1. And we're seeing that 4 for 4 ends up with Team YP actually catching up. And look at this, Sven on basically no mana. PL taking advantage of it and forcing out some TPs. And Undying and the TA, who are both smoked. Now Undying actually coming out of the trees, revealing himself. But PL will actually just TP down to the bottom lane to go back to farming. His TA is in Roche Pit. And they had vision from this Observer Ward of TA going in. But she was smoked, so... I don't know how they know, but they pinged it out. They know that she's in there. And now we're going to see S-Class really have a presence in the mid lane. They're going to try and force a response from Team YP and just basically distract them so that they're not paying attention to the Roche pit. Because I saw those pings come out, but maybe the pings were actually up on the high ground about the D ward.
Radiant's middle tower has been denied.
But now, certainly with all these heroes coming down here from S-Class, it's pretty apparent that Roche was getting claimed by the TA, and she'll get it. And then she'll even activate her haste road.
Top tower is under attack.
So Aegis for her, and now Team YP, I think rightfully so here. They say, you know what, we're not going to fight you. We're going to go for some trades on the map. We're going to get this top tier 1 tower, which looks to be free.
Dire's structures
Glyph will get popped, but it'll really just delay the inevitable.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Professor
attack.
gets the last hit there. Is S-Class going for the bottom tier 1? I think Team YP might... Okay, yeah, so they're going for a little bit of split here. PL pushes in the mid lane. The bulk of heroes pushes in the top lane, and this forces out some kind of response from S-Class. They're going to get that bottom tier 1 tower, which we knew was going to be a trade. All the response comes up into the top lane to try and trap these heroes, and they're actually going to find the Doom. So Team YP going to get caught out, and the PL, which was meant to keep farming in the mid lane, actually has to rotate up to try and help out his team. Monster's going to get picked off. We won't see the mid tier 1 tower going down, as they just barely get caught out now. Oh no, the Oracle getting caught too. This is a complete disaster. Team YP just making mistakes all over the place. As they'll Fate's Edict to actually,
Radiant's middle tower is
I'll
under
die
attack.
in the fountain.
Radiant structures are fortified.
It was close, but yeah, let's take a look at our gold graph, and this is actually promising for Team YP because they've kind of stopped the bleeding. It's not getting worse, at least. They're definitely behind, but it's still hovering around that 4K mark, and they've stopped it. So basically, they're managing to match what their opponents are doing. So if they were able to do that earlier, we'd have a dead even game. But they made some of those mistakes earlier on, and now, even though they're making mistakes, like we saw Monster get picked off, and then soon after Ahon Ram get picked off as well, even with those mistakes, they're staying even with S-Class. So that means they're being more efficient on the map, despite making those mistakes. And if they clean up those mistakes, then they should be, clawing back a little bit of that deficit and getting themselves back in the game. And then they've got other items like Hannah Midas getting picked up by the Night Stalker, which are going to help them. It's going to keep helping them farm. The Phantom Lancer has his boots of travel, so he can get to the areas of the map that he needs to be so that he can get more farm. And now he starts adding on some of the more fighting-oriented items like the Diffusal Blade. Confessor still... He hasn't been having a strong game. He's still kind of clawing his way back from the terrible laning phase that he had up against a TA, but an SF is really never favored to go up against a TA. It's typically one of the big bans, and I don't exactly recall what was banned out after the SF pick. They might have actually even come out in the same phase. But we got action in the mid lane as the PL doing a lot of the split pushing, just trying to drag some of these dire heroes around the map. And that just buys time, allows Team YP to be more efficient on the map and catch back up through farming. They will lose their bottom tier 2, but it's becoming a trade. They're going to get the mid tier 1.
Dire's middle tower.
These heroes in the bottom lane from S-Class, they're not done. They're going to keep pushing, and that's going to force a bunch of TPs coming out. They still have the Aegis up on the Templar Assassin. As this tier 3 going down so quickly with the Desolator from the TA. TA taking a lot of damage. There's that Aegis getting popped.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And there we go. Here's going to be our engage as Guru actually blinks away, but blinks right to a Night Stalker. Snowball going to come forward onto the Night Stalker, punch him up in the air. But then Carrot and XK will disengage. Tier 3 is down, and now they're just kind of farming up the Serpent Wards. Confessor going to get trapped by the Ice Shards as he looks like he's going to go down. He was trying to let the Requiem go. Or actually, those were raises, excuse me. Requiem's already come out. But now he'll go down, and his little Requiem will fly out as he'll buy back into the game immediately. We also lost the Oracle. No buyback available for Aaron Ram. Punch will finish off the Doom as Monster's going to be forced to buy back into the game. XK goes down. He buys back 3 buybacks coming out. from Team YP, and they're not going to get anything. They're just going to get the 1 kill on the Sven. They're going to get the Aegis, but that's it. My goodness. That is not the kind of fight that they needed, that they wanted to have, but it's what they needed to do to make sure that they kept their racks and kept themselves in the game. But now that's a huge gold deficit, and we may see Team YP taking an early exit out of these qualifiers. It's just a best of 1, so they lose this, they're gone. They'll have to take a stab at it in the next qualifier in 2 days' time. But even that, still the same format, and we're going to have to be going up against some pretty strong competition, because only one team is going to come out of this qualifier and make it to the main qualifier. So only one of kind of the big favorites, and honestly, Team YP's got to be one of those. They've got to be pretty high up on the list. Obviously, Team Freedom, Elite Wolves, they're going to be probably the big two, I'd say, in the running for taking it. So one of them is certainly not going to make it. So they'll have to be competing in the second one. So it's not going to be an easy road. If Team YP gets knocked out of this one, they're going to have to go into the second. Look at this. Relentless. S-Class, they respawn. They immediately go back into the bottom lane. They want to fight again. So you know what? We sacrificed the Aegis to basically take down that tier 3. After the Aegis is when the team fight happened. And the only way that Team YP could fight us is with 3 buybacks. Now, those 3 are all on cooldown. We don't even know if the other ones have buyback. In fact, they don't. So they should be able to take the team fight here. Monster gonna get initiated on. He's dead. He's done. PL's dead as well. We might actually see an early GG here. 23 minutes. PL will be able to buy back in the game, but the first set of racks, they're already going down. The melee racks is going to go down as Glyph wears off. The range racks soon to fall. As now the PL with the dieback, the Oracle's going to try to keep him alive, but it's not going to be enough. XK's in trouble. Confessor is caught in the shackles. He'll get punched up in the air by Carrot. Ahon Ram is the only one left alive. He goes down as the Ice Shards flies through. As S-Class, they come out of nowhere.
Dire's top tower
And they take this. Are these guys a bunch of people playing under, or actual players playing under different names that are a little bit better, or what? Like, I don't know. I realize how terrible that just sounded, but these guys, I don't recognize any of their names. I haven't seen any of them play before. But they're putting on quite a performance here. Now they're breaking the last tier 4, and they're going to just go right for the win here. We're going to have Doom respawning. Team YP still have not GG'd out. They want to try and fight here. But Monster respawns, he runs at them, and immediately gets sheeped, stunned, hexed, whatever you want to call it. As he's dead, GG will get called. It's Team YP. Oh my. Wow. They're gone. They're eliminated as S-Class, the underdogs. Wow. I'm a little stunned. I'm a little bit stunned. Team YP, they're gone. They're eliminated this early into the tournament. Well, they'll have to bounce back in 2 days' time. Maybe they'll have 11. Honestly, nothing against Ahon Ram. I'm not at all saying it was his fault, but obviously there's a little bit more comfort having your full 5. But they're gonna have to turn something around. Maybe they underestimated their opponents, and yeah, they just kind of got run over. They did not have a good laning phase. The SF was constantly in trouble. And then it was a matter of, okay, this TA is snowballing out of control. We've got to put a lot of pressure on the TA and keep her down, which created a lot of space for the Sven. How long into the game was Sven just sitting in the top lane, just farming by himself and pushing? It was a long time. And then finally, he started getting involved in that fight at kind of the dire bottom tier 1. And then that ended up being being a huge fight. That actually ended up a 4-for-4, so that was one of the more Team YP favored fights, I'd say, of the match. But yeah, Sven showed up to that, and he basically got an ultra kill. It only credited him as having a double kill, but he did the majority of the damage for 4 of the kills. So once that moment hit, and every fight on after was just so much in favor of S-Class. I'm still shocked. 25 minutes, Team YP gets run over. And it wasn't just a GG tap out. They lost their throne in 25 minutes. Wow. Well, guys, that's going to do it for that one. I'm going to try and find us another game to cast. In the meantime, I'm going to throw it to music. Once again, if you guys are enjoying the cast, make sure you hit that follow button and come back and listen to some more. As we've got a lot of games to cast over the next basically 7 days. And then after that, we're going to be casting more of the Dota 2 Canada Cup. And of course, we always cast SCS every Sundays as well. So hit that follow button. And if you didn't enjoy the cast, let me know why. Talk to me in Twitch chat. Let me know why you didn't enjoy it, and I'll try to improve it for next time for you, as I'm constantly trying to get better as a caster. So any feedback is greatly appreciated. But I'm going to throw it to music and rest my voice while I look for the next game. And hopefully we'll have one to cast in just a few minutes. Once again, thanks for watching.